Jumbo fellow adventurers, Mike Dooley, and it's time for a spiritual tune-up where I take your questions that you post below on the day of a broadcast. I go to my Facebook and Instagram feeds for questions. Those on YouTube I don't get to. And the next day I use your ideas as talking points. I'm bringing lofty physical, metaphysical ideas down to earth. It's Monday. Okay, great question on deck today. Mike, are premonitions manifestations? The question stemming from the time or two that we've all experienced where we kind of get a hit, like something might happen, and then it happens. Are we creating that thing that happened? Not in the way the question supposes. So the answer is no, absolutely not. We are both 24/7 receivers and 24/7 transmitters. Okay? We're everywhere always at once. As I have often shared, we are the eyes and the ears of God Almighty come alive in the dream of life. And therefore, we are connected to every eventuality, every possibility, every human being, every mote of dust, every sentient tree, as if some weren't sentient. Right? So, we are receiving and transmitting all the time. What's the difference? Intention. Intention. And it is when we hold thoughts with the intention, the expectation, the optimism, the wonder that we might see them come to pass. Those are our manifestations. When we receive something, those lack intention. They just land. They just land in our lap. They just show up all of a sudden. What are these? These are peaks into future probabilities. Future probabilities. This future is never set in stone. There is no such thing as destiny. Free will is an absolute, but we do have likelihoods. It is very, very likely, although all things are possible, that I'm going to continue speaking here, looking at my webcam and cell phone for another minute or two. Extremely likely, high probability. It is extremely unlikely that I will just get up and walk out of the room. All things are possible. The same is true in your day to day, your week, your month, your year, your lifetime. There are probabilities. And of course, we have the ability to tune in to probabilities, and we tune in not only to likely probabilities, but if there was curiosity in our minds, to unlikely probabilities. So because you receive a hit, you receive an idea of something that might happen, does not mean it's a premonition in the sense of a window into something that is going to happen. Does not mean that at all. We can receive all kinds of images, all kinds of sensory perception. Our nighttime dreams and our daydreams can often help us sort out tension, anger, problems, conflict. And suddenly we get a daytime hit from a nighttime dream. Does that mean it's a premonition? Does that mean it's a probability? Not necessarily at all. So do not jump to conclusions because you receive a premonition that this is a likely future probability and you must act now to avert it or to accelerate it or whatever. Intention rules. What you want to do is with your receivership abilities, some have developed them more than others, you want to reflect. You want to internalize. You want to ask questions. How come? What if? Maybe. Good? Not so good. You want to formulate it, mix it in with your logic and intuition, and perhaps consider things that you never would have thought of otherwise had this premonition not gifted itself to you. And perhaps that's its only reason for showing up in your life, to help you think thoughts that you, mortal you, ego-driven, would not have thought of any other way. That's all it is. It's not like, oh, now this is going to happen. How do I avert it? So premonitions are very different. than manifestations or thoughts held with the intention to bring about manifestation. Pay attention to them, ask about them, weigh them, consider them, wonder what their inner message is, decipher them, give it a shot, do some journaling. Maybe you're just working out a problem you had with your mom, and it has nothing to do with what might manifest in the future, but by working it out, you're going to have better relationships with other people later on. So don't jump to conclusions. Don't be afraid. Self-reflect. If anything is going on in your life or moving in a direction that you're not thrilled with, then the way you manifest, you change the picture in your mind to that which you most want in terms of the end result, not how you're going to get there. You feel it, you anticipate it, and when you're done visualizing, you move in that direction. Great question. We are receivers and we are transmitters. The difference with what becomes the things and events of our lives are the intentions that are attached to the thoughts we pick up or send out. All right. Taliho amigos, thanks for being here. Great to have you with me, Sharon, Nazira, Joey, on Instagram and on Facebook. We got Valerie, Eva, Jenna, and Pam. Okay, see you tomorrow. And by the way, did you see the news? If you get notes from the universe, you know by now that July 1, we're kicking off our next 21-day adventure. An adventure into discovering and monetizing your side hustle. Did you know I'm a certified public accountant, or a recovering one? I used to work for PricewaterhouseCoopers, financial statements, debits, credits, tax returns, and I've used that knowledge in my own side hustle the last 35 years to live the life of my dreams. This is the time to get your side hustle on. Click the link below on Facebook, swipe up on Instagram, and join me for a kickoff on July 1st into a probability that will leave you in awe. All right. See ya mañana. Hasta pronto. Adios.